Hey y'all. Doo-doo-doo. And we're live. Let me know where you're tuning in from if you are watching live right now so I can show you some love in the comments. And today's going to be pretty informal. I actually just wanted to kind of answer any questions that you all may have around COVID-19, your careers, the future of work, whatever it is. Whoever's tuning in. Hey, Musa from Nigeria. How's it going, man? How are you all doing? So today's really informal, y'all. Let's have a Q&A. I have been completely enamored by what's going on in terms of in the world with COVID-19. And, I've been having some serious conversations around it, how it's affecting people in their organizations, how it's affecting people in their personal lives. And I really just want to have an amazing conversation with you all in the Unleashing the Future of Work community and some of the amazing people that are connected with me on LinkedIn. So Chris is tuning in from New York, New York. I love New York. Genesee is tuning in from Virginia. Aditya is tuning in from Raleigh, North Carolina. Chris from Egypt. Chris, dog, I got to talk to you, man. I really actually have to talk to you. I need to see if I can get a book transcripted from Egypt. Please talk to me about that if you know any good book publishers in Egypt. I hear that the publishers in Egypt are the best for some reason. It's weird. Kenny saying, what, no Oakland love? Absolutely. Shout out to Oakland. That's actually where I stay, Kenny. So much love to Oakland. So talk to me, y'all. Like, what's going on with you all in COVID-19? I'm sure everyone is currently at home, staying safe and healthy. Wisconsin, Shauna from Wisconsin. And, I really do want to have a really serious conversation around COVID-19. I'll answer any questions you all have if you all are interested in my thoughts. And if you all are not, I'm still going to share my thoughts. Shout out to Ibi Duni from Lagos, Nigeria. We are great, still on lockdown, but staying safe. Nice job. Thank you, Ibi Duni. Hey, Luis from Puerto Rico. So, as you all know, hey, Isai from Dallas. Man, everyone's tuning in right now. So, I think, off the top of my head, I've been really fascinated by how many companies have shifted their business in this new era of a future post COVID-19. And I like to say that, there was a time pre COVID-19 and a time post COVID-19. I think that the world is going to be completely different, not only 6 months from now, but a year from now, 2 years from now, and more importantly, 5 years from now. For me, what I've really, really been thankful of is how we're realizing that when it comes to biological warfare, right? When you think about, a virus that's affecting the entire world and you need to protect all of humanity, the true frontline heroes, it's not the military and it's not, cybersecurity engineers, it's doctors, it's teachers, and it is even to a degree gig workers, right? The Uber drivers and the Instacart delivery service people who are making sure that groceries are delivered to your front steps, or the people who are working in Amazon's supply chain who are ensuring that all packages are delivered on time. Those are the true heroes when it comes to biological warfare. And I feel as if it indicates a changing of the tide. So shout out to Natalie, who's asking me a question. Are you anxious about the new world order post COVID-19? Tell us what you see in the future. Natalie, I'm not anxious about it. I'm more excited about the possibilities. And I'll give you an example. Airbnb, a company that was started in the last recession, which was around 2007, 2008. And they've been in business over almost 10 years now, right? And they were about to IPO this year. Airbnb has completely shifted their business model and their platform. Actually, they haven't even shifted their business model. They've just shifted their platform. Right now, they're embracing online experiences on Airbnb, right? So you as an Airbnb host, if you are an Airbnb host, you can go to Airbnb now and create an online experience around cooking or how to decorate your interior design, your interior home. Like they've completely shifted their business to support the needs of their hosts. And I think that's really fascinating because I mean, Airbnb was in the travel sector, and now they're in the e-learning space, right? Like it's weird, right? Like how does a company completely shift their business model to adapt to a market instantaneously like that? And I think it's a good thing because they're currently reading what's going to be the new norm, right? They understand that it's going to take a time, it's going to take a while until people become more comfortable with spending time with each other or going to a random stranger's home and spending the night, right? There's completely going to be a behavioral change in how we want to engage with people. In addition to that, and how we want to, capture experiences. It's going to be more virtual and online versus in person in someone's home and sleeping on someone's bed that you just met through Airbnb. So they're latching on to the psychological behavior change that we're bound to see in a post COVID-19 world. So to answer your question, now that I tremendous opportunity, and for me, with our company guide, we're completely thinking about where we want to take our product and our business. And as someone that's been working in product management for quite some time now, I think it's a fascinating opportunity if you're in the business world, as well as if you're an entrepreneur and you want to build something, you want to build anything. I think you actually start addressing what are the needs of customers now, right? Like, because I just think there's going to be all kinds of innovation we see in a post COVID-19 future. So, Natalie, I hope that answers your question. Let me know if you have more questions. I would love to address them. So, Cindy's talking about how can employees prepare for their post COVID career while in lockdown right now? I love that, Cindy. One of the biggest things I think that people can do right now is actually recalibrate, reset, right? And even if you are working within a company that's treating you well and you're loving your role, you have to realize that, we're not living in a future where we're not living in a present where, being satisfied with climbing the career ladder is okay, right? Like there's some people who want that still, but in my opinion, it's very few people who actually want that still. I think the current generation of millennials and that are going into the workforce, and even the next generation of workers who are going to be following millennials, Gen Z, they're more interested in experiences even in the workplace. And even now, it's fascinating because Microsoft, for example, they've pivoted their internship program to be virtual. So imagine they have 4,000 interns who are going to be working at Microsoft for this summer virtually, but those same interns can also start working on their side business because they don't have to come on site to Seattle or wherever Microsoft's headquarters are to do their job. It's completely virtual, right? So I think now, organizations, even employees have to realize now that you have more control of your time because you're working at home or wherever you feel most comfortable working at, you need to start focusing on how do you start, whether it be building side businesses or how do you start, learning just beyond the four walls of your home and capturing the experiences and the growth opportunities that will take you to where you want to go 5 years down the line. Because I even think with this current shift in how organizations are now embracing remote work culture and virtual work, and they're completely rethinking about how they're using digital tools to support themselves operationally, we're going to see a shift to more flexible working models, not only for employees, but that organizations also embrace. And I have a few more episodes on the Unleashing the Future of Work podcast where I'm going to be talking to some amazing guests around that same topic, Cindy. But yeah, I think the biggest thing you can do right now as an employee is understand that this is your time to, one, I think recognize that we are in the middle of a monumental shift in the world, right? Not only for your organization and for your career, but the entire world is experiencing the shift, to make sure that you're taking care of yourself personally, but also understand where do I want to grow towards in a post COVID-19 world, right? Because now more than ever, it's going to be on you as an employee to ensure that you can carve your career path, I believe. So that's my thoughts on that, Cindy. So Cindy is also asking, what are your tips to find a job if you're unemployed right now? Woo! I'm going to share a few resources in the comments with you all. I actually do believe that you want to right now focus on remote jobs. If you're looking for a job right now, focus on remote opportunities. Like just optimize for that right now. And also start standing out the non-traditional way, right? So here are the non-traditional ways to stand out. Start investing in your personal brand. And this is the non-traditional way because so many people have yet to still realize that when we're currently in the job market where it's no longer a candidate's market. And I was actually talking to my good friend Austin Belsack, who's really popular on LinkedIn, and he mentioned that there's never been such a thing as a candidate's market. The way the employers choose employees or candidates that they feel are great at what they do and to get the job done. So if you're unemployed right now, and over 6 million people in America have filed for unemployment benefits, I believe the best thing you do is find opportunities to do remote work, or definitely do engage in a few of the gig platforms that are still available, right? So if you can, and you want to be of service, there is an opportunity in areas such as healthcare, now telehealth, right? These are all emerging industries, and I actually shared a list about this on my LinkedIn, and I can make sure I add it in the comments. But I don't think you look down on yourself and say what's available for me. I actually think there's a plethora of opportunities now, despite what's actually being said in the media and on news outlets. There are job opportunities, but many of them are either online. They're still they're still with gig platforms. And more importantly, you have to look into emerging industries. Don't look at industries that probably won't exist post this pandemic. So Cindy and Shalika are connecting. Shout out to Cindy, who's a millennial coach. My boy Isaac said, Tim, it's so sad to see all the internship cancellations, but I think orgs can leverage savings of not paying relocation packages and events programs for their prospective interns. They can configure students' PCs and ship out to their addresses and shorten the internship instead of canceling it. Isaac, I love that, man. Yeah, no. I think it's surprising how some of the top companies like Microsoft and Google, they're not canceling their internship program. They're just saying, hey, it's going to be virtual, right? Because they have the operational capacity as well as the culture to make those shifts. But for the organizations that are canceling their internship programs, I'm just like, why? Like, it's like, can you not shift to a virtual internship program as well? If you're using Slack, and I think it speaks to what their culture was beforehand, right? But I agree with you, Isaac. I think that there's no reason why organizations should be canceling internships. But it's like you don't necessarily have to be on site, whether you're an intern or not, for you to be able to do effective work. And I think that a lot of organizations were caught slipping because of COVID-19, and they completely, they had to completely rethink all of their processes. They're like, what do we do if we aren't able to bring our people into a space and we can't see them doing the work, right? Like how do we even operate in that type of culture, right? So I think a lot of organizations have to rethink and recalibrate, and that's why they're canceling their internship programs. But if you're a digital if you're a company that's digitally savvy, and you understand that it doesn't matter where your people are in terms of where they're doing the work. Like what matters is that you're still being able to create a culture beyond the four walls of your organization. And I actually think that the next generation of organizations that really succeed, and brands that really succeed in the post COVID-19 era, are the ones that take their culture beyond the four walls of their organization, right? It's truly going to be, I truly think it's going to be the brands like Airbnb, right? Who I see they're going to really adapt post COVID-19. And it's going to be, I think, new brands too that arise from this shift, like Guide, right? Because one of the things I'm really adamant about, as I lead Guide, is this idea of how do we take our culture beyond the four walls of our organization. And the funny thing about Guide is that we don't have offices, right? Everyone is already remote, but everyone is empowered to build their personal brand. Everyone is empowered to, you know, follow through with our culture beyond just their homes, right? And I still think that there's still going to be a sense of community necessary in society and, at a local level, even after COVID-19 passes. And, maybe 3 months, 5 months from now, we see people start feeling okay to go outside again. Thank you, Alice. I appreciate you. I am excited to lead Guide and to continue growing with our team. So let's talk. Let's talk. Okay. So Sydney's saying, what are the emerging industries and dying ones? So here's something I've been fascinated by. VR, AR, in addition to vehicles like micromobility, I actually think those are going to continue to grow. And when you think about micromobility and you think about autonomous vehicles, right? I actually think now you're going to start seeing companies who are in those sectors. And a great example would be one called Lyft, right? People now, so Uber has completely had to shift like what they're prioritizing in terms of a business. They're prioritizing food delivery services and Uber Eats, right? Because no one is actually using Uber to go out. Demand has sunk due to the fact that everyone is being told to stay in, right? So let's say 6 months from now, people start getting a little bit comfortable again to go out, right? They're not going to want to step into a car that was driven by a complete stranger that they don't know, or get into the front seat of a complete stranger that they just met through Uber, right? They're probably going to want to step into a car that they know has been serviced. Maybe there's a driver that's the pilot behind the car, right? But it's probably autonomous, right? So I actually think this pandemic is an opportunity for a lot of the companies who are in the autonomous vehicle space or the micromobility space to tout their solutions either to the governments in the public sector, but also in addition to that, to tout why they're safe. And more importantly, because it's their vehicles such as Cruise, or platforms such as Cruise or Waymo, like they've been focused and investing in autonomous vehicles for almost a decade now. And I think we're actually gonna see a rise in those vehicles in very crowded cities such as San Francisco or Oakland or in Austin. And it's going to become slowly the emergent norm. I don't think it's going to be a mass shift, because I just think the behavior around people wanting to feel as if they can drive, right? And I feel as if they have a sense of control when they're behind a vehicle. That's a very rooted behavior, right? Like, it's going to take a while until you only see autonomous cars all over the world just driving themselves. But I think this shift into ensuring that the cars that people are in feel are one, safe to get in, and the fact that people are now more concerned about their health and where they're going and the places where they sit in, the things that they touch. You're going to see that being kind of the psychological trigger that will allow Waymo, Uber, and Lyft to encourage a rise in people being served through autonomous vehicles, right? And being picked up, and kids being picked up or being taken to schools, especially in suburban areas. So I actually see autonomous vehicles being an emerging space and sector that people should get jobs in. And then VR, AR, anything that has to do with the internet, I think is still good, right? So if you can find an internet company such as a Google, or like a Twitch, right, with Amazon, and if there are roles there that might fit your interest, check those out like now. I also think from a healthcare standpoint, telehealth is going to be big. So there's this really interesting company called Ginger that I love. I absolutely love them because they also work with corporations and they also offer their services on the consumer end for people who are struggling with their mental health. because I mean, I think mental health is a constant. Always think there's always going to be an opportunity for mental health companies to better serve people who need it. But I think now, especially because I think there's always going to be a rise in technology. But if you can somehow find a job in the telehealth sector with a company that's providing telehealth services, you're gonna be employed, because I don't think that's going anywhere. I think for so long, so many doctors and the healthcare industry has kind of struggled to take their services beyond the four walls of the hospitals. But now, when we're looking at a time where hospitals are being suffocated because there's so many patients who are coming, who are having to be rushed to hospital beds. It's like, is there an opportunity for us to use technology to make sure that we can service people, we can test people, we can gauge their health from home, right? And I think telehealth companies are going to be a huge, they're going to be a huge, it's going to be a huge opportunity for them to address that niche. So Allison mentions that she works with mental health startups, well in five, and if you're in working with them. Uh, Anthony's talking about, as a graduate, do you think that my personal brand is mature enough to set me apart post pandemic? I absolutely think it is, Anthony. I think a personal brand is something that you always have to build. Like, it's not just I create content one day. It's something that's consistently being chiseled, and you consistently have to keep putting yourself out there. So even if you're in graduate school right now, you have a personal brand. People know you as something. You're positioning yourself as something. And I'm even reading your headline right now on your LinkedIn. It's saying that you're in corporate law at SEO London, right? So it seems as if I don't know if SEO London is related to marketing, or if it's just a small youth organization. But whatever you're positioning yourself, whatever you want to be known for right now, Anthony, like, you just keep boosting that, right? Because I do believe that the talent that has a personal brand, that's putting itself out there, that's sharing their expertise, that is the talent that's more likely to get hired, right, and get engaged for work opportunities. So I think you're good, Anthony. I think you just got to continue putting your feet to the pedal, man. Like, don't let up on people, bro. Don't let up on people, man, because your personal brand will take you places that a resume cannot. All right. Sweet, 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 sweet. So Anthony said WeWork won't survive post COVID-19. Hey, you heard it. You heard it there first. You heard it there first. That is true. That is true. Shout out to Barb. Shout out to Shalika, who's like, healthcare is awesome. Shout out to Cindy, who is talking to Anthony in the comments. She thinks co-working spaces will flourish. Code companies realize they don't need office spaces. Their guys can work from home or from a co-working space, so which is cost savings. Shout out to y'all. All right, y'all. So I wanted to just drop in right now and have a really quick Q&A session and just kind of chat with you all. So with that said, make sure you all tune in to Unleashing the Future of Work episodes every weekday, Monday through Friday. I'll have somebody on around 12 p.m. to 12:50 p.m. Central Standard Time. And today there is no episode, so I just wanted to come on really quickly and just show love and see how you all are doing and make sure you all are okay. If you're interested in being a guest on the Unleashing the Future of Work, a guide podcast, make sure you check out our website, utfow.com, utfow.com. Much love to you all. And please stay in, stay healthy, and I'll chat with you all soon. Peace.